Hello guys, and welcome back to another part of our RPG series. And in the last video we have done display of the items we can grab on the floor. We also have done this little image there that we can this little box that show us the resources. And yeah, so in this video now what I'm gonna be doing is let's go ahead and start with the drag and drop. We're not gonna actually drop the item yet because there's a couple of things that we have to fix first. But let's go ahead and create the context menu. So what I want to do here is I want to right click and show up some kind of menu, maybe here, it doesn't matter where, that we can actually use that context menu to maybe use the item and drop the item. Let's start with those for now, right? So what I'm gonna do here, right, is I'm gonna go, where is this slot here, and I am gonna create, I'm gonna right click here, I'm gonna create another blueprint widget. I'm gonna call this user widget and let's call WBP context menu, right? Let's open up this, and what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna add a border for now. Border. Let me just think how would be the best way to do something like this. We could do like the same way we did like here. Let's try. Let's see how is the best way to this. Right. So I'm gonna create a border. Border here. And then in this border, I am gonna make sure that the color is black and the transparency is something like 0.2. So it's very light, so it's just a shade. And I am gonna add a vertical box inside, and I'm gonna add two buttons, button 1, button 2. Here we go, right? So I'm gonna add one button with text inside. And let me make sure the text here. I'm gonna call this button use. So let's call this use as well. Let's make sure it's in the middle. And then I'm just gonna copy and paste, and I'm gonna call drop or delete or whatever you guys want to call. So we're gonna just do two buttons, one to delete, one to use the item, and yeah, let's do it. So this is gonna be delete. Let's add some padding from the top to 10. So we'll have some space. Yeah, that's fine. Right, compile and save. I think we can actually let me see if I can replace this box to or maybe wrap with size box, or maybe a scale box. Let me just, so I'm not sure why it's doing this. So wrap with a scale box. There we go. So a scale box will resize and make sure everything fits properly. I'm not sure if those buttons are gonna look too big. Let's see. Let's first have a look and let's play around. Then we can actually go ahead and change this design. So let's make sure that we go a nice green color, and for the drop let's make sure we have like a nice red color. Compile and save. There we go. We're not going to be doing any logic with this yet. Let's just make sure we got the design properly, and then we can actually start to do the logic. Right. So first of all, I'm going to comment this and say on mouse hover display the item information. Right. Nice. So you got that. So what I want to do here is let's check here on the override, and I want to make sure that on mouse button down, button up, let's see, a button down. Yeah, we can do some stuff with this. Let me just do a print. Let's make sure that hello is working properly. Yeah, hello is working there. Nice. So what I want to do here, guys, is we just need to call a method called handled, and make sure you put it in here, so that's being handled, so it doesn't throw that error message. Right. So what I want to do here is when the player click or kind of do a right click or something, we want to display that box, right? So we're gonna just do this exactly the same thing as we did in here. We get the viewport. Let even copy this whole logic in there, so we can move this here. Right. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna create a widget, right? The widget we want to create is this WBP context menu. We still have to create some variables in there, but let's make sure we're passing the just making sure we're getting the design correctly, right? And then what we want to do here is same thing we did here. Just gonna make sure this is working here. What I want to do is probably, let me just put it like this. I'm gonna promote this as a variable. I'm gonna promote to a local to a variable and say context menu. Make sure it goes in there. Let's plug this here, right? Nice. Compile and save. So it comes in here. You press the widget button, and then we have the menu. So what I also want to do here is I just want to delete the context menu if it already exists. So let's get that. Make sure it is valid before you can actually do something with it. Otherwise, it's going to throw a couple of errors. And if it's valid, we just want to remove from parent. If it's not valid, we don't care. We just go straight to this create widget part here. It's going to put in here. Nice. Plug like this, and you just can plug that right here as well. Right. Okay, so do this. Is valid. Then what you want to do is want to get the context menu. Make sure that you create as a variable, not as a local variable, because we want to use this kind of global in here. And the widget we want is this, and what you want to add to the viewport is the same thing. And make sure you plug this on the return node, otherwise that can actually throw a couple of errors. Let's press play and let's see what's gonna happen. So if I click, I got the menu item there. So we got user delete, and all that kind of stuff. So there we go. So if you press use, delete, and a couple of things, we can actually show the context menu. We kind of have a problem that they stay in the page for a while. So ideally is as we maybe close the widget, because they get added to the viewport. So what I want to do here is instead of adding to the viewport, right, we're gonna get the canvas, which the canvas is not there, so don't worry. So we're gonna just do a quick trick in there. Let's just create here a delay, which will be 2 seconds or maybe 3, and then after that we're just gonna do a destroy or remove from parent thing. Compile and save. So what's gonna happen as I press play, come back, click, forget about the menu, and then in 3 seconds that should be deleted. So in case the user forgets, it gets deleted. As well, what we could actually do here is we could kind of do some bind when we we drop this lot here. So what we could actually do here on the event graph, right, which is slot titan, can we create an event? I think, let me just double check if we can bind here. So compile and save, so it creates that here. Can we do a bind event on visibility? Now we're just gonna leave it like this for now. We're just gonna leave it like that for now, but maybe we can Let's see if we can add a canvas in here. I'm just trying to find a better way to add the widget in, so we don't have to worry about once it's deleted, but let's leave it like this for now. We can go back to that after. Let's make sure we got this working, and after that's just a question of design and UI as well. So right, so if you right click, if I press delete, I just want to make sure I delete the item. But for now, let's get started with the logic to actually delete the item, right? So what I'm gonna be doing here, right, is on the main inventory, sorry, on this slot here, we kind of have to pass the reference to the main inventory for the context menu, because this context menu kind of need to have some access to the item and also needs to have access to the player inventory controller and the components and all sorts. So in here, what I'm going to do on the context menu, I'm going to create another variable. I am going to call that main inventory ref, and this is going to be just called inventory main. So it's going to be WP main, it's going to be called, sorry, inventory main. And this is going to be public. Make sure you mark that expose to on spawn, right? So we're going to compile and save. Also make sure that we pass the item as well. Yeah, so let's create st item, because you may need to do something here with the item straight away, send some kind of ID or whatever. Also make sure that the item is exposed to spawn and the type is st item, right? So on the main inventory, on the main slot item, it's gonna refresh the nodes here. It's gonna add for two things. So the first one is gonna ask for the parent inventory widget, and it's gonna ask for the item, right? So you're passing those reference already, which is pretty much all we need. And remember, the main inventory has access to the component, so, and the component has access to the player and whatever couple of things that you may need to do the things, right? So what I want to do in here right now is, as the character press right click and press delete, I want to drop the item. I want to delete the item from the inventory and spawn the physical object again, right? So let's do one thing step by step first. So if I go here to where is my inventory, components here, and BPC inventory, right? I'm gonna open up this. We have a method in there which is called what is it? Interface manage remove inventory item. So let's do this logic first. But I'm thinking what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna cut this video right now. So let's make sure we finish this part, because the next part it is related to UI, but it's more related with things like we're gonna have to do some logic in the component, so it's gonna involve a little bit of a UI, a little bit of data tables and things. So I'm just gonna cut this video for now so it doesn't get too long, and then in the next part we're gonna do the drop function and the delete function. So see you guys in the next video. And once again, if you go any lost, just go back and follow again with the series with this video. Just make sure that if you go confusing any part, or if there's something you didn't understand, just make sure you rewatch this lesson. And I hope to see you guys in the next one.